nga ba ilipat ang isang minanang property na hindi na pupunta ng korte? May minana kang lupa o bahay mula sa iyong magulang o lolo't lola? At ngayon, gusto ninyong ibenta, i-transfer or ipangalan sa mga tagapagmana. Pero ang problema, nakapangalan pa rin sa namatay na may-ari ang titulo. So papaano natin ito maaayos? One of the most common legal processes involved is called extrajudicial settlement of state. At sa video ito, I will explain it to you in the most simple terms. Kung ano ito, kailan ito pwedeng gamitin, sino ang dapat kasama at bakit napakahalaga nito bago kayo magbenta ng isang inherited property. So ano ba ang extrajudicial settlement? Simply put is, ito ang proseso kung saan ang mga legal na tagapagmana ng isang namatay na tao ay nagkakasundo kung papaano hahatiin o ipamamahagi ang naiwan niyang estate without going through a full judicial settlement proceeding, provided that the requirements under the rules of court are met. Ayon kasi sa Rule 74 Section 1 of the Rules of Court, an extrajudicial settlement may be made when the decedent left no will and no debts and the heirs are all of legal age, or minors are properly represented ng kanilang duly authorized legal or judicial representatives. Ang mga tagapagmana may execute a public instrument which is filed with the Register of Deeds. However, if there is only one heir, that heir may adjudicate the entire estate to himself or herself through an affidavit. So in simple terms, kung maraming tagapagmana, ang dapat gawin ay settlement or partition. Kung isa lang ang tagapagmana, okay na ang adjudication. Now, this is where it becomes very important for us in real estate. Imagine this, yung tatay mo nagmamay-ari ng isang parcel of land, namatay ang tatay mo, however, yung titulo ay nakapangalan pa rin sa kanya. Now, ang mga anak niya gustong ibenta ang property. Ang tanong, can the children simply sign a deed of sale and sell the property? Well, the answer is no. Hindi ganun kasimple. Because when the registered owner dies, the property becomes part of the estate of the deceased person. The heirs need to establish and document their rights to the estate before the property can properly be transferred or disposed of. And this is where the settlement of estate becomes very important. Ayon kasi sa Rule 74, the basic requirements include, una, that the person died must have left no will. Second, that the person died must have left no debts. Walang utang that is subject to the legal rules governing to estate settlement. And the third, that the heirs must all be of legal age. However, if there are minors, they must be represented ng kanilang properly authorized legal or judicial representatives. And importantly, all the proper heirs must be accounted for and properly included or notified as required by our law. Hindi pwedeng pili lang ang magkakapatid. For example, 5 kayo ng mga anak ng namatay, pero 4 lang ang isinama sa extrajudicial settlement. That can create a serious legal problem because an excluded heir may challenge the settlement and claim his or her lawful participation in the estate. The Supreme Court has emphasized that an extrajudicial settlement does not bind a person who did not participate in it or had no notice of it. Let's make this practical. Suppose the deceased left isang bahay at lupa na nagkakahalaga ng 3 million pesos and there are 3 children na tagapagmana. The children or the heirs may agree on how the estate will be divided, once again subject of course to the applicable rules of succession and the rights of compulsory heirs. They can agree to divide the property or to assign the property to one heir with appropriate consideration to the others, or otherwise distribute the estate according to their lawful rights. Pero tandaan, hindi porket nagkasundo ang magkakapatid, automatic legal na lahat ng ginawa nila. Because there are still requirements involving succession, taxes, documentation, registration, and possible claims. That is why proper legal and tax advice is very important. The concept is that the heirs can settle estate without securing letters of administration through a regular judicial administration proceeding, provided na once again lahat ng requirements are all satisfied. But don't misunderstand the word extrajudicial. Hindi ibig sabihin na walang dokumento. It doesn't mean also na walang legal na proseso. And definitely, hindi ibig sabihin na pwede na nating hati-hatiin ang lupa. There is still a formal process. The public instrument or affidavit must be properly executed and filed with the appropriate Register of Deeds. There are also publication requirements under Rule 74 and other requirements that may apply depending on the circumstances. Here is another important point that many people don't know. Alam niyo kasi under Rule 74 Section 4, an extrajudicial settlement does not completely eliminate possible claims. Sa loob ng 2 taon after the settlement and distribution, ang isang tagapagmana or another person who has unduly deprived of his or her lawful participation may seek relief through the courts. Similarly, certain unpaid debts or claims against the estate may still be addressed within that 2-year period. So when you see an inherited property that has recently undergone extrajudicial settlement, due diligence is extremely important. Don't just look at the title. Look at the settlement documents. I-check nyo rin ang mga tagapagmana. I-check nyo ang annotations. I-check nyo ang tax records at i-verify whether there are outstanding obligations or claims. Another important point is extrajudicial settlement is not exclusively for the land. It can involve the entire estate of the deceased, whether it is a real property and personal property that is subject to applicable rules. So we are talking about houses, lots, vehicles, bank deposits, shares, and other properties or rights forming part of the estate. So let us summarize. The extrajudicial settlement is a legal mechanism that allows qualified heirs to settle and distribute a deceased person's estate without a regular judicial administration proceeding when the requirements under Rule 74 of the Rules of Court are all satisfied. And remember these 4 things. Number 1, know the heirs. Number 2, know the estate. Number 3, make sure that the settlement is properly documented and registered. And number 4, don't forget the taxes, the claims, and other legal requirements. Because when it comes to inherited property, hindi sapat na sabihin na mana namin ito. You have to properly establish and document your legal rights before you can confidently transfer or sell it. So if you found this discussion helpful, please don't forget to like, share, and follow the Real Estate Desk with Lau for more practical discussions about Philippine real estate laws, property transactions, valuation, taxation, and professional practice. Know the law, understand real estate, and make better decisions. So once again, this is the Real Estate Desk with Lau kung saan pag-uusapan natin ang realidad para sa responsabling kinabukasan.